What's going to happen with real estate in 2023? That's a great question. I think there are three key themes for this year. One is good news or bad news. So there's a lot of uncertainty out there, and there's a lot of news that's contradictory. So we'll talk about that. Short-term uncertainty and long-term growth, right? And the other theme, quite frankly, is timing any market is impossible. Don't bother. So we'll talk about those. First of all, let's get into the numbers. So Trev released the numbers for the whole of 2023, but really we're looking at December 2022 to December 2021. Sales were down almost 50%. They were down 38.2% for the whole of 2022 compared to 2021. And 2021 was a record high of over 120,000 units. Prices were down 9.2% December to December, and just a little over 20% compared to the peak in February. It's really property and location dependent. For example, condos in the GTA are up a little bit, and detached houses in the 905 are down significantly, over 16.4%.
Right.
Last number is new listings are down 21%, and that kind of leads into what you're going to talk about. The feeling in the market is the sales just aren't there. Sellers aren't selling because they don't have to. And so what are you seeing? What's your boots on the ground feeling?
Well, like you said, you can't just look at it as a monolith. Well, you can and you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, in general, if we do look at the big picture, economists were saying, it's going to drop by 20%. Well, it already has dropped by 20% from the peak. So, and that's what the newspapers don't say. So just keep in mind that the newspapers sell by selling negative stories.
Exactly.
So we are down 20% from the peak. We're down 10% overall. So the question is, are we at bottom? If we're not at bottom, we're probably swimming around the bottom and what have you. What am I seeing in the trenches? Well, yeah, sellers are, if they don't have to sell, they're not selling. Buyer side, very, very reluctant to make offers.
Because they're uncertain, right?
Because they're uncertain, and I get it. However, this is, if we talk about strategy for a second, this is exactly the opposite thing that they should be doing. Because if there's anything right now that is going on, is that there is a possibility to get a bargain occasionally, and the only way to find bargains is to make lots of offers, because you're never going to find out if where things are just by looking at our listings coming to you. If you don't make an offer, you're never going to find that out. So we should be looking at the exact opposite strategy, and that is make tons of offers, maybe a little bit lower. The low ball sort of idea. But make lots of offers, and see if you can get a counter offer back, and therefore they're showing you where they're at. So I would basically break down properties in general. This is what I do, and personally, as I break them down into three categories, and I have the highest quality properties, and that would be a high quality house in a great neighborhood near great schools and what have you. Then there is sort of the middle of the road places that might be nice homes, they might have good schools but not the top schools. Maybe a little bit of renovation is required, but they're great family homes. And then there's the stuff that are projects, right? And all of this stuff a year ago was selling. It didn't matter if you're on level 3. It was selling at a ridiculous price. The stuff in the middle was selling at a ridiculous price. The stuff at the top as well. Now what I would say is the only thing that's really selling at a top price is the really highest quality properties. And
if they're marketed and priced appropriately.
Staged properly and all of that, but they're still getting great prices.
And there's still offer nights on those. There's still bidding wars on some of them.
Exactly. The stuff in the middle, I would say, is taking a discount. Right? Some houses are just not selling. So we are seeing ones that are just sitting out there and sitting out there and sitting out there forever, and they tend to get stale, and that's not the best thing for buyers or sellers in particular. And sometimes those are the houses that you should be offering on. Right?
But because maybe they need to sell.
Yes. The thing is, you never know somebody's motivations, and motivations can change over time.
That's true.
They can start off very strong and hold out and hold out and hold out, but after a few months, maybe not so much. So, to me, what I would be focusing on is really start to think about making offers in areas that you do want to offer. Other things that are going on in the market, certain parts are just dead, and that is the pre-construction market.
Yeah, gone so long.
Yeah.
There is more condo supply completing in this year, 2023, so that could push prices down a little bit on condos.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, rent, but as we'll turn it over to Ben in a second, rents are going crazy. So Ben,
let's turn it over to Ben. What's happening in the rental market?
Well, definitely, as you guys are saying, we're seeing a lot of places sit vacant, and some people are switching to, instead of selling, they want to rent, whether that's short-term or long-term.
Yeah.
We see that especially in the higher-end housing market,
Yeah.
where those are really sitting
So
empty.
there's tons of supply there.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of supply in the higher-end housing market, which means those rentals are getting less competitive than they used to be.
Yeah.
Whereas most other rentals, you're seeing quite low vacancy rates.
in the sweet spot, in the 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-bedroom.
Exactly. Yeah. 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, even studios are still staying quite competitive. We saw in November, December averages around $2,500 a month for a 1-bedroom and $3,300 for 2 bedrooms.
Wow.
And in the 416.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, those are still a little bit lower actually than we saw in the August-September timeframe.
Right. Yeah.
When everyone was moving back to the city.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So there is maybe some light at the end of the tunnel. If you're looking to move, now might be a good time to change up your rental arrangement. They're a little bit cheaper. I think we're expecting them to go back up again because people like to move in the springtime, summertime. It's 10%, 20% rise year over year in rental rates, depending on what markets you're looking at. But there definitely are some good opportunities out there if you're looking for a deal on rent. You just have to be ready to move. You have to have your paperwork in order, and you got to know what you're doing right now.
Yeah. The themes and trends for 2023 are, so first of all, good news or bad news, right? So we're going to get a lot of conflicting reports out there, right? Like employment came out and it was up, which is normally good, but that could be a sign that banks are going to raise rates. So there's a lot of things out there, and it's hard to decipher, what's going to happen. Which leads us to the next point, short-term uncertainty for long-term gains. We all know, because we've been in this business for a while, that this market is chronically undersupplied.
Yeah.
So listen, in the long term, it doesn't really matter what happens now. In the long term, prices are going to go back up.
Yeah.
It's just how quickly and how fast.
Exactly.
Don't know, which leads to the third point, right? Is you can't really time a market, so now is a great time to buy, like Jordan said.
Make offers.
Yeah,
Make offers.
Yeah.
Make offers.
Now we have conditions, so so you can do inspections. You can.
There's
do
all kinds of
financing
tools that we couldn't have had a year ago from today to get you a good deal. But you're never going to get a good deal if you don't make an offer.
Yeah.
If you're waiting for the market to come back, then the market's going to come back and you're in the same problem that you were before.
Then you're going to be FOMO.
That's right. You're going to be waiting to the wrong time. So now is the time to make offers.
And then the other key themes this year are short-term rentals, and I guess I should say there is a lot of regulation around short-term rentals.
Yep.
People tend to see that as a bad thing. I actually think
It's a good
that's
thing.
a good thing because it drives a lot of competition
That's right.
out of the marketplace, and when you're dealing with professionals like we are that know what they're doing,
Yes.
you're safe.
Laneways, we've been pushing them for years.
And we are doing a bunch right now as well.
And we are doing them, but now for some people, you have to see them. You have to go, you really have to see them in action. On our street alone, I think there's six or seven on our street alone.
And one just rented a 3-bed for $5,300. So
Yeah.
people were waiting to see to have that proved out. But
And how are they financing, and how are the banks dealing with them? All that stuff's done now.
in summary, I guess we think it's going to be an interesting time for the next few months, and one day it will get hot again. Could be very soon. It could be towards the end of the year.
So make offers before then.
Make offers
Before it
honestly,
gets hot. Make offers before.
And our sellers we're just saying, hey, let's just wait and see what happens, right? So we hope you found that hugely helpful. If you have any questions, please shoot us an email, info@thinktio.ca. Talk soon.